Welcome to the Carbia Media Podcast, where we dwell into the journeys of business owners, entrepreneurs, and inspiring individuals. On this episode of Carbia Media Podcast, we have Nancy Carbia, a full-time photographer. Nancy, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Finally, I know we've been planning this out for last few weeks. Finally got to do it.
Yes, it's thankfully a busy time during the holidays.
You say busy all the time.
I mean, oh my God, I was going to say something. I was going to say, well, I don't have a sugar daddy yet, so.
Well, maybe this podcast.
I gotta stay busy in case someone wants.
You're super hardworking.
Unless someone wants to pay my bills. Sorry.
Maybe this podcast could help with that.
Call me.
So Nancy, so tell me about yourself, Nancy. What inspired you to be a photographer? Where did you go to school for this, or what got you into photography?
So I've actually, since I was a kid, I've loved photography. I didn't actually go to school for it because I think at the time I didn't realize that it could be a career path that I could take. So after college, I actually got my first camera just because I loved taking photos of everything and videos, and I ended up just becoming the person that always just had their camera on them, taking videos of all of just my travels and memories with friends. And I started liking putting these videos together of just like my different memories. And then one day I showed up to my friend's wedding with my camera, just thinking I was going to document like some fun times with some friends. And she thankfully asked in that moment, like, "Oh, you brought your camera. Would you be open to doing the video for my wedding?"
The day of.
Literally.
She didn't have a photographer. She didn't have nothing planned out.
She thankfully had a photographer, which honestly it was a blessing because the photographer just kind of let me like shadow her. Like she took over the whole thing, and I just kind of just like videotaped as she did her thing. So it was nice to get to work with someone that was already in the field for so long. But that's kind of what opened up everything. I realized like, wait a second, I can actually do this and get paid like as a career. So yeah, thankfully my friend pushed me to do her wedding video.
And that was your first wedding?
First wedding, yes.
Dude, that's intense. That's stressful.
But I think since there was like no pressure, since it was just like for fun, it was almost like I almost didn't even have time to put pressure on myself. It was just like, all right, we're doing this. Like, I don't know. I didn't even like take a second to really think about it. But now if somebody were to ask me that, I feel more pressure. Like I don't know how to explain it.
Maybe now you know what
to expect.
What to expect.
Yes.
And how hectic it is, and
yes.
emotions and everything that goes into.
And yes, because it's
day.
Such a big day, and it's like one of the most important days for people's like life, and you have such a big impact on their day. Like you can either help them make it better or potentially be a sore spot in their day, So you're right. Maybe now I just realize that how much of an impact you have on people's days. So thankfully, when I was there, and it was like 2018 at this point, I didn't really have the time to. And honestly, I think I already had a beer in me at that point. And I'm
like, sure, I'll do it.
Want me to do the video? But
how did it come out?
Until this day, it's one of my favorite videos that I've done.
Where did you shoot that wedding? Where was it at?
In Canada. Oof. So that helped too. It was such a beautiful wedding, and I think the photographer that I got to work with was really really made a big difference as well. It's nice when you get to work with people that work like as a team, And
she was nice with you. She was
really nice. Yeah, she was accepting, because some people might be like, wait, what? Now I'm gonna have this person like shadowing me the entire wedding, because I was pretty much just like her shadow. I'm like, yeah, you do your thing. I'm just gonna record as you go. So yeah, thank you to my friend Jess.
So that's what got you more interested in.
Yes, yeah, and then kind of from there, just like I started doing more videos for friends. Honestly, thankfully, my friends have believed in me more than maybe I believed in myself in the beginning. So yeah, I started doing music videos for my friend Sarah that lives in California, and yeah, I just realized like I can actually make something more out of this that I like, my passion, or something that I love doing.
So you went to school. So that was California, but you went to school in St. Louis, right?
Yes.
What did you go to school for?
Exercise science. Never used
Nothing.
my degree. No,
Nothing.
no, but that was I'm grateful for that experience, but definitely never used my degree.
So what I guess drove you in, like, because you go to school, you're supposed to get a 9-to-5 job, you're supposed to go into, I guess, corporate world or use your degree. What kind of, how did you take that leap of faith of, no, you know what, I want to do this, like, why? Because most people, it's just a dream to do it, but very few do it though.
Yeah.
And keep doing it. How long you been doing it for?
Full time since 2020. So I mean, it took me a while to, at least like 4 to 5 years. But
4 to
yeah,
5 years.
I quit the job that I had in 2020. So 5 years.
Dang.
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out like what, I think it's just something that, like, if you have something in your mind or something that keeps calling to you, like I thankfully had a really good job that I actually really enjoyed, but there was always the photography on the side that I hate to use the word flow state, but there's like very few things that that I really enjoy doing and like feel like in the zone, and something that gets you out of bed and is exciting, and like if someone calls you on a Sunday and like you'll take anything that you can get. So I don't know, something that just kept, I don't even know like I'm trying to think like how I even finally took the step. I think I just had so many friends that believed in me more than I did, and people just would make comments to me like, oh, have you ever thought about doing this full time? And I think just like maybe the more I heard it, one day, it was actually during the pandemic, then I feel like there was like weird transitional phases going on with the pandemic, and maybe, I don't know, maybe I realized during the pandemic, it's like, I think a lot of people maybe realized during the pandemic, like, maybe I should start doing something that I love instead of just, I don't know how to.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of business people start doing different hobbies.
Yes.
Or pursuing their passion.
Yes.
But not too many, I don't think, stuck with it like you did though. 5 years, that's a long time. And
maybe I like to prove people wrong. Because people would always say to me, so what's your plan B? I'm like, what do you mean, what's my plan B?
Well, you take pictures, that's nice, I guess, but what do you do for work?
Yes, no, that is really like,
that's how I see it.
And in the beginning, it really did take me, I think like it wasn't until maybe like my second or third year that I actually felt confident to tell people I'm a photographer. Like it wasn't this proud thing that I would say to people, because it's like, what do you mean you're a photographer? And now thankfully it's been 5 years, and it's like, no, this is actually my full-time job, this is what I live off of, like.
That's awesome.
So it did take a little while to have that like confidence and like, yeah, I am a photographer, But technically you're a photographer since your first paid shoot, it's like you're getting paid for that. So you're technically a photographer already,
And when was that? When did you get your first paid shoot? When did it go from passion to, wow, I'm actually getting paid? And this is really cool.
Thinking back now, thank God I've had so many people believe in me. My first paid shoot is actually Mike, our cousin.
Oh, yeah.
I asked him, or I don't know if I asked him or he asked me. He was having a church event, and they were having just like an event for their kids, and they asked if I could go do a video of the event. And I'll never forget, because I took a picture of the first $100 bill I finally got paid, and I think he surprised me because I think at the time it was like, oh, can I just go? And I don't know if he had told me he was going to pay me, but that was the first time I had actually made money off of doing a video or photos.
What did you do both, or did you do video, or what?
I did video, a video of the event that they were having. Yeah, $100 was my first actual shoot that I got paid for, and then the pandemic happened, and I feel like that kind of drove me to start focusing on like the real estate stuff.
So you started doing weddings, then events, but all this is video. How did you go into real estate? Because that's like a really small niche. Like say events. Well, you could do weddings, you could do birthdays, you could do baby showers or whatever. Like real estate and photography.
I feel like someone must have said something, or I don't know what happened, because it's like the pandemic is happening. And then like events and stuff are not happening, you know, because the pandemic. And then, so thankfully mom actually would let me, like I transform mom's spare bedroom into a little studio. So at least I had that like space to do like portraits and stuff. But man, something must have happened that I realized like I need, like real estate was really, because there was like a year or so that like there wasn't really events or I hate that I'm saying like so much, that there weren't, like it was harder for photography, to get photography jobs during the pandemic unless you were doing something more niche. Like the real estate stuff thankfully boomed during the pandemic. So gosh, I wonder what, you know what? Actually, I started doing videos for Clayton Homes. And it is so funny that everything was video and then it has now transformed to photo. Yeah, it is so weird. But Clayton Homes, I started doing videos for a real estate company. And then they, from there, just like snowballed into what it's been now. So
you did Clayton's. How did you get your next real estate customer? Like that way, because a lot of people don't know, you know, they want to open a business, but a lot of people are lost in like, you know, what's the first step? What's the second step? How do I go about it? You know?
Yeah.
So you do that. And then what do you do after that?
So once I started working with Clayton's, I realized that I didn't have a portfolio if I wanted to start doing the real estate stuff, because I did have a portfolio for all like the other things, you know, because thankfully friends events or whatever. So through Clayton's, someone within the office had a spouse or something that was a real estate agent. So I actually asked them if they had any homes available that I could just go and start practicing on. And thankfully Clayton's was actually really nice about also letting me practice. So I would just, like they had a lot of, what are they called? Model homes. So I would just go to their lots and practice on their model homes. And then once I got into contact with that real estate agent, she was nice enough to actually give me like a sheet of paper with like 5 or 6 different homes that she had available at the time. Just said, you're open to go shoot them anytime you want to start practicing. And that thankfully gave me some form of like portfolio that I could show people. So then from there, I made a flyer with just like a few of my favorite photos from the shoot. Whatever included in the flyer, what I would be including. And I realized that a lot of people in the area didn't include drone shots in their packages. So I figured the way that I was going to separate myself from those people was I was going to include drone shots in the packages. So I started going door to door to all the real estate offices and dropping off my flyer and just hoping hoping that someone would call at some point, which thank God someone did.
So all those you did were free. Those
Yes.
5 that
Yeah.
list. So because a lot of people talk about like this controversy of should you do free stuff or no? You know what? I don't do anything for free because. So you're.
No, I think it's worth doing it for free.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's also, I think you can also like, it gives you an opportunity to really hook the client in sometimes. Because sometimes it's hard for people to visualize like what value you're really bringing to them.
Mhm.
And then so if you actually show them, I think it's easier for them to see like, oh, actually, I would want you to do a video or a photo or photos for me. Or so I think you should definitely, at least in the beginning, or even if you're really in it for a while, I think doing free, if you want to get into a different industry, it's always worth at least doing something for free. I think you should be open to doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's hard because it's like you don't know if it's gonna lead to more, but at least like you always learn from in every shoot. There's always something that you can learn from, you know. So even if you do something for free, it's like it's gonna provide some form of experience that you can take into the next thing, you know.
And build your portfolio.
Yeah.
Meet more people.
Yeah,
And if that person doesn't hire you,
it can.
you
be
could show someone else like, hey, this is what I did, and
Yeah.
this is what
yeah,
I do.
and even maybe that contact, maybe they won't contact you, but maybe it can lead to someone else, or you know. So, so yeah, I definitely do the free thing. If you're thinking about doing something for free, you should do it.
Pretty much, I see that it's good to stay active, you know?
Yes.
So
It's
keep doing stuff.
like muscle
posting.
memory almost. Yes. I feel like the more you do, the better you're going to get too. So even in the time, like, yeah, sorry. My thoughts were just going all everywhere.
That's fine. So you get into the real estate. So now you strictly do real estate, or are you open to other things, or what?
I honestly, I'm always open to other things. I want to actually start like I'm so grateful that in the last like maybe 3 years now, I've strictly almost like focused solely on real estate, just because thankfully I've been able to build that, and it's been very consistent. Like ever since the pandemic, the area that we live in is just, the housing market is just kind of crazy. So thankfully they've kept me really busy, but I've also kind of regret putting myself in a little bit of a box, because talking about how we should always be practicing, and like you almost lose that like muscle memory that I had already like built with doing the videos, you know, that since I've focused so much on the real estate, I feel like I've made it harder to continue doing the other things, you know? So, but I am grateful for the real estate stuff. I just would like to start doing more again, you know? Yeah. Because I feel like it is important to diversify, because there is like the real estate it's busy, but also inconsistent, you know? So I feel like you have to be very strong-minded, which sometimes I have trouble with, because it's like you have to remember that it's like you have a super busy week and then you can have a very slow week. So in those slow weeks, I feel like it's good to diversify and always have something that you're supplementing with other things, you know, like whether it's portraits or events or the weddings, or, you know, because there's always, thankfully with photography and videography, especially now, there's always something that you can be doing.
So there's ups and downs of doing your own thing, having your own business. How do you get through those downs, or what do you feel whenever there's like, you know, there's all-time high, you're doing great, and then all of a sudden
Oh my goodness.
there's no calls, or what do you feel, and how do you get through that?
Man, thankfully I write in my journal so I can remember about these highs and lows, because they happen way too frequent sometimes, where the highs are like, oh my goodness, I'm rich. It's like, man, I got that. And then all of a sudden it's like, is my phone on silent or something? Like, why isn't it ringing? What's going on? And then I have like a maybe like a day of panic of, oh my God, I have to quit being a photographer and maybe go find another job. And then I have to just remind myself that it's literally something that I hope most people go through. I mean, not that I hope that other people go through this, but I hope it's like something kind of normal that I feel like most businesses probably go through that, right? It's like you can have your highs and lows and just remember, I mean, when you're having your lows, I feel like it's a good time to go out and get more customers or figure out like, can I make my website better? What can I do to prepare myself for that next thing, you know? So I feel like having those lows is hard, but it also allows you to learn about to learn different things that you can take onto your next shoot or whatever, you know.
So constantly improving.
And I feel like you should always be going to get more clients. You know, it's like, I think it's easier to get a little complacent sometimes, you know, like maybe when you finally reach like a little sense of security, it's like, all right, don't forget that you have to always continue to, because it is all on you, you know, like it's not like anyone is out there going to get clients for me or anyone's like, if I don't go do it, then that's it. Like,
excuse me. Where do you think that comes from? Where do you think, because most people, a lot of people, I don't want to generalize, but a lot of people, if they understand what it takes, like no one else is going to go out there and get it from me. No one else is going to, you know, you don't get a paycheck at the end of the week if you're just, you can't just clock in and get a paycheck.
Yeah.
So where do you think that comes from of okay, well now I got to get out there and I got to actually make money.
Well, I do feel like my parents were very hardworking, so I think that instilled just seeing how hard they worked for everything. I feel like that has made me a hard worker since a young age, but I don't like to rely on people. I don't and it's also, I guess you have to think like, at least me personally, it's like if I don't go do this, I will potentially eventually have to go get a job that I don't enjoy, you know? So I rather, I don't know, I guess like my motivation is either you continue to get to do what you love or you have to go find a job and work for someone else and they tell you when to clock in or when, I mean, they kind of, not that they control your life, but you know, like, I don't know. It's different when you actually have something that you really love doing than just going to get a paycheck, you know? I don't know. It's something more exciting. It's like you want to learn more, you want to grow more. And before it's just kind of like, oh, I'm working for someone else's goals or something, you know? And now it's like I'm working for, and honestly, I like my freedom. It's like, even though I work 24/7, I at least know that, let's say my nephew had a recital at 9 a.m. the other day. It's like, oh, I can make that because I make my own schedule. So I think also maybe the motivation of like my freedom and really just getting to do what I love. I don't know. That's terrible. Maybe bad explanation. I don't know. And now I want to ask you the same thing. What makes you? Because you're the same way. Sorry, I'm curious. Like, what's your?
What?
You're the same way. Like, what motivates you to continue working your butt off for yourself?
I guess enjoying it.
Yeah.
Just the journey. Just the continuous. Well, what can I do next? What, you know, just learning about stuff. I like learning, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it makes a difference when you enjoy what you do. You know, because otherwise it's like, God, is it 5 o'clock yet? You know? And thankfully, I really enjoy what I do, that I can work at any hour of the day and it doesn't bother me.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like, oh, it's all fun. No, but, you know, so you don't clock out at 5. You go to the dance recital at 9, but you know that you're stopping what you're which you're working on.
Yeah.
But after 5, you're gonna have to catch up, and then you might get done at 11 or 12
Yes.
when other people are done at 5 completely.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
But to me, it's like those things are worth it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because it's like those same people that are getting to enjoy their life maybe at other hours of the day, probably, or who knows, I don't want to generalize, but probably don't enjoy their job as much as I enjoy my job, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice that, I mean, I can do what I want. It's like, oh, I'll do the real estate. And technically I can go do the weddings, or I can, you know, it's like, it's nice that we have the ability to do whatever we want.
Yeah, no one's telling you, no, you're just going to focus on real estate.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
it.
it's like, hey, you know what? I want to start doing product photography again. You know, so it's like there's just endless opportunities, and it's kind of exciting, you
Yeah.
know? So maybe that's what's also motivating. Yeah. Wow, I'm getting excited just talking about it.
So what's have you had anything crazy or anything out of the ordinary? Have you showed up somewhere that you find something weird, or at a place, or unexpected or something?
Well, I recently had an appointment at the nude park, which I didn't know existed. It's just like fully nude. I don't know what they're called. Nudist parks?
Like parks? Like, what do you mean parks?
Like nudist mobile home parks.
Oh, mobile home? Like a senior citizen?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, nice.
I didn't even know those places existed. So if you're looking for one in the valley, they're here. But I just had an appointment there, and like while I was talking to the gentleman, just all of a sudden I see a butt cheek just pass by the window, and it was so hard to stay focused on the conversation. I had to tell the man, like, I'm so sorry, I got distracted by these butt cheeks that just went by. And he's like, oh, that's normal around here.
Did you know that it was a nudist park, or
They did.
They warned you?
Yeah, they did warn me. They did. They warned me beforehand.
but do
yeah.
you think, like, well, I mean, maybe occasionally you'll see one? No, everyone's walking around naked.
Everyone was out on their morning walks.
Was it cold, or
Oh my! It was. I mean, from what I could see, it was pretty cold. So. Yeah, it was. Thankfully, the people that I had the appointment with were dressed. So.
Oh, okay.
But even like the maintenance people, like everyone,
Oh,
everyone is free there.
a little dangerous, you know? You're working hammers and nails, or get caught with something. Going up a ladder or something, you know?
Oh man, yeah, they love it though. Waving
Wow.
at you, just I mean, how nice to reach that age to just feel that free, you know?
Completely.
Just completely. I think that's the funniest. I mean, there's a few funny things that have happened, but kind of
That is
embarrassing.
crazy. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess there's a few funny things. That's the most recent one though.
What else? So I see you thinking about some other stuff.
Oh, I don't know if I want to put my business out into the world
Well,
like
maybe
this,
not
but,
then.
but let's just say if you're looking into the real estate photography stuff, just make sure that the water is on in the homes
Oh.
before going to the restroom. I've actually had too many of these same experiences at this point.
Like, yeah, no one's here, right? No one lives here. Why not?
Oh my god, yeah, just make sure that the water's on
Before.
beforehand.
So you get to meet a lot of nice people in this
Yeah.
job.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Thankfully 99.9% of the people have been really nice. And the 0.1% just might have had just like, not that they're not nice, you know, but and those actually weren't the agents, they were the sellers. Anyways, sorry. I had a story pop in my head where it's like the person just slammed the door in my face.
Oh my
I
God.
drove all the way to the island and I texted her that anyways, I don't want to tell
That's
the
not very
story.
nice.
No, it was not nice. Yeah, but that was the seller. All the agents that I've ever worked with, and most of the sellers are really, really nice. Yeah.
sometimes I'm sure they're stressed out and
Yes.
a lot
No,
going
and
on.
everyone, exactly. Everyone's got their own stuff going on in their day, and, maybe had a meeting she was running behind on or something, so. But no, yeah, I'm grateful that it has brought a lot of good people into my life for
That's
sure.
nice.
Yeah.
Friends, I'm sure you developed a good relationship with them.
Oh, yeah. Yes, they're definitely, I feel like family at this point. They're some of my
Wow.
favorite people. Yeah.
What's something that people don't know or would think about real estate as far as like the type of photography that what sets it apart from
Man,
going back
I
to
think
weddings and
I think it might
portraits and stuff?
be the first thing that comes to mind. I think it might be like one of the most isolating niches or categories, and or what do you call it? I don't know. It's like
Yeah.
types, the most isolating type of photography. Maybe apart from like product photos, or just because I thankfully have built so much trust with my clients that most of them just either send me a code or leave a key for me, or most of the time I'm by myself, so it's like probably it's not probably, it is a very isolating job. And you would not think, like, or at least in other types of photography, like you're doing portraits, so you're interacting with people the whole time, and with me it's like I'm putting some music on and figuring out what angle's the best, and by myself, like in a quiet space, and or not quiet because I have music on, but it's just me and my thoughts.
Nice.
So I think that might be the biggest difference.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just you in an empty house, or I mean, some
Yeah.
are furnished, right? But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something else that might be different, but maybe the pay is a little different, but we won't get into that. If you're looking to make money, this is not the type of photography.
Yeah, it's super competitive and
Yeah. Yeah, it's I definitely have seen that people value more, or people are more willing to spend money on like memories, like you'll see people more willing to spend thousands of dollars on a wedding video, because obviously that's like something they're going to look back on for the rest of their lives. And then I guess for the real estate, it's maybe like the turnover of it is so fast, or it's like it doesn't serve it's not such a big part of I don't know. I
it's emotional. Like there's no emotion attached to it.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Just a piece of property.
But
no
it's
emotion.
interesting because it's one of the types of photography that is making the person money,
Right.
or like helping someone make money.
It's a tool that they see, that a potential customer sees
Yeah, because the
to sell the
photography
place.
makes all the difference,
Right.
Like if you are going in there and doing photos with your phone compared to someone that hired someone, like at least me personally, and I think it is like statistic wise, like you're more likely to look through more of the photos if they're professional than if they're done by a phone. Like people are probably just gonna pass through it if it's done by a phone, because it's not very like inviting, and it doesn't highlight it in the best way.
Right.
So,
Yeah. So say if someone wants to get into photography, there's weddings, there's product, there's all the stuff you mentioned, and also plus video. Because you see these huge houses, penthouses or whatever. Is it a good paying industry to get into, like the real estate business or photography?
Well, photography in general, yeah. Well, even real estate, I feel like it definitely can be, especially now that reels are getting popular, or like as long as I feel like you're good at adding on and providing more value to your customer, then that's where you can make more money, and because if you're just doing photography, like, yes, you can make some money off of it, but at least from what I've noticed is like the real estate people are trying to find the cheapest but also reliable. It is still important to find reliable and service and everything, but people are less likely to want to. They're trying to find the best bang for their buck. So you can definitely make money, but you probably have to hustle a little more than maybe other industries. Like I feel like the wedding industry can be very lucrative if you're okay to take on that pressure, you know, because it is a really important day for people. So yeah, I feel like you can make money as long as you're can hustle and you're always trying to figure out how you can add more value to your customers, because they do rely on you completely on like marketing their houses, you know.
Yeah, you're the one that when people search houses, the first thing they do is see the picture or the
Yeah,
reel.
first
So you got to
impression
have
is
first impression.
everything.
So you would think that, you know, that's something, you know, for a whatever $1 million house at the island, because I know you do a lot of stuff
Yeah.
at the island. I've seen penthouses and this and that.
Yeah, $1 million yeah.
Right? Yeah,
Sorry.
that prices have gone outrageous here in the
Yes. And at least and I would assume, just, you know, not now that I'm in the industry, like not knowing, you would assume that people would be willing to spend a little more in order to market it in the best way, you know. But and I feel like those people are out there, so it's just like finding those agents that do find the value, or not find the value, but I've noticed that like it's like the agents that have been in the business longer, you know, it's like they're so busy with so many other things that they don't want to have to worry about going to get content on their own, or, you know, it's like one thing that they don't have to worry about that they know that I'm going to take care of. So I've noticed that like the people that have been in the industry a little longer are more likely to be willing to pay more, you know, because I guess they just see the value more and they have less time to worry about those types of things. And maybe people that are just starting out are going to try to cut corners and maybe do it themselves, or find the cheapest route, you know, and sometimes the cheapest route is not the most reliable,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, we're making whatever it is, 3%, or I don't know what the commission is.
Yeah, it's usually at least 3%.
As a realtor, not you as a photographer.
Yeah.
I'm saying
I wish it was 3% out of $1 million. I will be there at any time you want. What do you need? I'll do it.
so. Yeah, you would think. Yeah, you take great pictures. It's used for marketing. It's used to get the potential buyer's attention.
Yeah.
But mostly you're freeing up people's time, which is super important.
Oh yeah.
That way they could go out there and show customers or do their job actually, instead of just them trying to figure out, you know, because I'm assuming you get angles and lighting and everything. It's just not just going in there and doing stuff, you know?
Yes, and the drone shots and different things that will pull a cut. Yeah, sorry, I lost my train of freaking thought again, man.
There's a lot going on.
Man, there is a lot going on
the
in my
drone
mind
stuff
right now.
Anyways, I was gonna say
Sorry.
the drone stuff. I
Which
saw that they're
thankfully-
gonna ban new imports of DJI or something like that.
What?
So, no, I mean if you already have the drone already, going back to diversifying.
Oh my goodness. Hold on, guys. Let me write this in my notes. Wait, what? This is a sidebar. We're going to talk
it's
about
been
that
going
later.
back.
Oh, yeah. They have been talking about that for a while, though, no?
But I read on someone's post that new drones will be banned from coming to the United States.
Really?
But if you have an old drone,
So
you
I
could
should buy
maybe-
another drone again just
well, I don't
in
know
case.
if you can
'cause-
anymore. I don't know. I haven't really looked into it. This was just a post. I don't know if it's.
Well, that'll be
haven't looked
interesting
into
how
it.
it'll affect the real estate stuff, because
Hopefully
that is
prices
like
go
a
up instead of
huge-
do it for free and because so that's what they're saying. If
Wow.
you're, you know, you crash into something, now you don't have parts for your drone and you better take care of that thing. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Oh, that's a little worrisome. But like
So every
you
time
said,
you
that
fly
at
it, it better
least-
make you money. So
I was
you know?
gonna say, but like you said, at least it might, the value of everything might go up because it's the demand. It's gonna be even harder to find someone willing to do that,
Yes,
to risk their drone.
Yeah. Or finding a drone, you know, who's gonna DJI is like the biggest drone manufacturer supplier.
I'm gonna
So
go shoot everybody's drone out of the sky, so I'm the only one that has one. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
oh, is that a drone?
Looks like Nancy's the only one in the valley that has a drone.
Hit it out with their hands. Nice strong pass. Sorry.
Dude, you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Jeez.
I'm just kidding.
So what do you plan on 2026? What are you gonna do different? Are you looking to expand? Are you looking to do something different? Or what's going on other than expanding now to different industries that don't deal with drones? But anything else that you have in mind?
Well, I would like to finally take my brother's advice and hire some people to help me, because I thankfully have reached it's like I always want to do everything on my own, and I sadly need to start trusting and delegating a little more, because I feel like the only way to grow is if you have help. So my plan for this next year is to have someone help me editing. It'd be great. I mean, that's the first thing, and eventually it'd be great to have another photographer, because I'd love to continue everything that's going on and not affect what I have already, but also start growing in other industries, you know? So it would be nice to have like the workflow of the real estate stuff kind of almost work on its own eventually, you know? Like I can go take the photos and then not have to worry about the rest of it, and just have somebody help me do the rest of it.
Do what? The photography or the editing?
The editing part of everything.
Okay.
Well, no, and eventually it'd be great to have another
too.
photographer, because it's been hard because I have to physically be there, you know, and I would like to start doing more and also not work 24/7. So it would just be nice to have a little help in order to continue growing, because I have reached like the ceiling or whatever, you know.
You work too much, but
I enjoy it, thankfully.
Yeah,
I'm grateful that I get to do what I love.
that's awesome.
Not very many people get to do that, so
where can they find you on social media? What's your handle, or where can they reach you at?
Fancy Productions Realty is the real estate one, and then just Fancy Productions is everything else that I had done in the past, which I don't do a very good job of updating, but I will this coming year.
Now they hire more people. Now you can post for yourself and grow your business and expand and do what you gotta do. So.
2026 is going to be a good year for sure.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, everything just working more efficiently and keep on growing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate
Good time.
it. Yeah. I hope you get something out of it.
So thanks for tuning in, and check us out on the next one.